Well, it was a much longer trading session today, so I did not record the entire session. But here is my position summary. You can see where I ended on the day. Green, $1,997. It was a much tougher day today. As you can see, I had a lot of red trades. I was trying stocks that looked like they were setting up, and then we were getting pops and just pullbacks, not a lot of continuation. And then finally, this trade right here, XHLD, coming into the market close. I was already up on it. I had taken this trade earlier in the day. So I had a good move on this. Took these a few little trades through here, but definitely this was my biggest gainer on the day right here into the market close. So XHLD was the top leading gainer. And so I just kind of kept an eye on it throughout the day. As you can see, I did try to trade other stocks, and most of those just didn't work out great for me. I got a move in HIND that was pretty good. Really got beat up by GITS. So you can see here on my position summary where I ended on the day. Happy to be green. Again, tougher trading day. The market, although we've got stocks that are up a couple 100%, it does seem to be cooling off just a little bit. We're not getting as much pop and continuation as we had the prior 2 weeks. So I'm going to be mindful of that leading into the remainder of this week. Just try to take it slow. I'm going to enter with smaller positions. I'll probably start with just 500 share starter unless something looks really good, and just keep that size down and make sure that I'm protecting my gains on the month and protecting my week. Hope you all had a wonderful day and enjoy this recap. I'll be posting it here shortly. And if you have questions or comments, feel free to reach out. Definitely post a comment, and hope you're all having a wonderful rest of your hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care.
Good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning. So I've placed a few trades this morning, two of which have not worked out. I tried CYN and had a little bit of a winner on it and then turned red. I also tried NUWE. Those were the two leading gainers this morning. And NUWE is still a leading gainer. It's up 120% right now, but it's pulled back quite a bit. We'll go over to NUWE. So I was attempting to trade this, looking for this curl right here. So this had hit its high. I sat down about right here, about 4:30 my time, and then watched. And as this started to curl up, I took this trade, attempted this, and ended up having a loss on it. So that was my NUWE trade. I ended up losing $460 there. And subsequently now I've taken HIND. So this started to hit the scanners, had this really big move here from 341 all the way to 7. I didn't trade it through there. And as this pulled back, we got this low, which was down at 473. Kind of a breakout here. I mean, this high is 612 up to 642. So I would call this a little bit more of a false breakout. And then as this pulled back again, I'll show you my entry, but I ended up taking this position at 506. What I was watching was the low of this larger candle down at 473. And I thought, well, if I could get something at 5 with just a small position, 1,000 shares, then I'm basically risking right around 30 cents a share. And if it takes out that low, then I would be out. So if I switch over to my trading monitor here, you can see where I took my entry. So my initial entry on this was right here, 506 at 806, which is this candle right here. So this is the 806 candle. I was in at 506. And again, I assumed worst case scenario, I'd be about a 470 stop loss. So about 30 to 36 cents a share there. And fortunately, this worked out. It held that $5 level, moved a little higher. I ended up adding at 571, 584, and 591, which was on the 808 candle and then the 809 candle. And then subsequently at 611, I took my first half position off. I was up pretty nicely. And I took the rest, I took another portion off on the 810 candle, which was right up here. I took that off at 670. So right near the peak of that, we went up close to this pre-market high, and then when we pulled back, I took some off there, and then I took the rest off on that same candle at 661. So both took the final 1,250 shares off on this candle, and it did push higher, so I left a little bit on the table, which is fine. I ended up making $2,100 on that trade, which brought me back to green on the day, so that was nice. It was a little annoying being down with these first two stocks that were pretty high or pretty far up there on the leading gainer chart. But nice trade on HIND. Now it's pulled back some more. So I'm just watching to see what else might set up here. We're early in the morning. It's 5:22 Pacific time. And so we've got, about an hour until the market opens. So I'm going to watch and see if anything curls or sets back up for an opportunity. But right now we have NUWE up 123%. It's the leading gainer. And then we also have HIND, which is up 74%. So those are the two kind of leaders right now. And we'll just see what else pops up on the day. Got XTKG here. It's a little bit higher float. It's a 16 million share float. And we've got some pivots up here around 61. And then again at 63. MACD's open, so this looks kind of interesting through here. These lower priced stocks, so things under $1. I don't trade all of the time, but if the setup looks decent, then I might take a stab at it and see if it'll give an opportunity. So some bigger sellers there at 61. Let's see if those get bought up. I'm in at 61, so there's 62. So now I'm watching these pivots, basically 62, and then the next pivot would be 63. So there's 63. Let's see if this will give us a spot to add anywhere here. Up to 63 and then a pullback. Just watching this here. We've got this upper pivot is basically right at kind of 64. I'm going to exit there. And that might have been a little early exit, but it looked like that was putting in a little bit of a topping tail. So $33 there, nothing big. The 5-minute chart does look good. There's about 10 seconds left on this 5-minute chart. Some nice volume coming in on the 1-minute chart. Actually higher volume than the prior move. So the volume of the current move is higher than this big move that it had. Bigger seller there. Bought back up. So we're trying to hold 60 here. And 23,000 share seller there at 60. NAMM hit a high yesterday, right around 560. It just started moving up on the scanner, so I'm watching this here. The daily high, yeah, the daily high yesterday, 559. Pretty light on the volume. Then take a position here on XTKG. There's some sellers there at 63. I'm watching this hold the 8 EMA here. Just looking to see if we get any move higher. 64. We've got this pivot kind of right at 64. There's 65. So we'll see if this gets any acceleration up here, up to 70 maybe. Just a small position. I've got 3,000 shares. We're sitting right there at 65. We're sitting there at 65. I'm going to try to take my full position off. That's just a penny a share. It's not really getting up through 65, so we'll see. So I took that off right there. It's about $30 again, nothing huge. And this may move faster. It's kind of getting up through this 64 pivot. There's a bunch of sellers right there. 36,000 share seller. And they may get bought up as this looks like it's trying to curl. 5 minute chart looks good too. So there's 66. So yeah, looks like this might get a little push higher. And there's a nice move. So now a little more buying coming in. Interestingly enough, this is our top gapper up right now, up 142%. It's a little higher flow. That might be part of the reason it's not moving as quickly. 16 million share float. And 45,000 share seller there at 66. So I took a 500 share starter here on NAMM. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking to see if we'll get a curl up through the pre-market high and then break the high of day yesterday, which was 559. If we break the high of day yesterday, then there's another resistance at 568. Then we've got a fair bit of room. Um, so we'd go up to 580, and then kind of the next closest pivot is up around 9. So there's a little bit of opportunity here to the upside if this will give a little bit of a move. So I'm in at 519. There's a 21,000 share seller there at 519. There's not a lot of volume on this. There's 519 again. right now on the day, we've done about 4 million shares of volume. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. I wanted to take just a little stab at it there. That was just a $55 loss. I was watching this curl to see if this would come back up through the pre-market high, and I'm okay being out of that one, just with it being lower volume on the day. We've got IVF moving as well. So pretty big move right now. $1.40 up to $2. It's up 52%. I don't know that I'm super interested in this one. The volume on the daily is really low. A few days ago, this made a nice move up to 450. Then 4 days ago, well, 5 days ago. So 5 days ago, this made a nice move, but just going to keep watching and see if anything else pops up here. So I took another starter here on NAMM. We're getting this curl right here, and I'm looking for potential high of day 537 target right now. I'm in at 518. And the 5 minute chart looks good here. We've just got a first 5 minute candle to put in a new high right there at 510. So I'm watching to see if we'll get some momentum here with NAMM. This was a good gainer yesterday. Just watching to see what this does here. We're potentially trying to transition back to strong bull on the TTM, and we're in a mid compression squeeze. There's 519. We had some sellers up here at 519 before, so we'll see if those sellers can break. There's 523. I'm going to add there. Looks like we're getting a little more momentum coming in, potentially. Let's switch this over to the bigger chart here. So there's 529. We'll see if this can break Hive Day. If we start to hit Hive Day scanner, this might give us a little bit more momentum, might draw some attention here. There's 535. I added there at 532. It's now looking to see if this will break Hive Day and start hitting the Hive Day scanner. So 559 is kind of our next the next spot we're looking at. That was yesterday's high. So yesterday's high right there at 559. That's what I'm watching for. So that ran right up to 537, pulled back just a little bit. Okay, I exited there. So that ended up being a little bit bigger loss. That kind of nuked down really quick. This may recover, but we've got a little bit of a double top right there at 537. Kind of quite the recovery. My exit was 515. It was right down near the 21 EMA, and now we've recovered. So a little bit of interesting action here. Kind of interesting to see that flush down really quick and get bought right back up. The 5 minute chart still looks good here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I do think if we'd actually put in a new high day, we could get some momentum and possibly take out the high yesterday. I'm going to take a starter there on IVF. Looking for this to curl back up to high a day. Just a quick move up to 210 and then a pullback. I'm in at 206. I don't like the looks of that, so I'm out. Turned red there on the day now with that. That was kind of a quick pop and then a really bad rejection. This may still hold here, but if that flushed further, I didn't want to be in. So I took a quick exit right there. Gonna have this gravestone doji there now. I may try this again just with a smaller starter position. There we're getting a little bit more selling. That's what I wanted to avoid. So I'd rather get out there right at 2 than sit and see if it's going to hold. So took a quick exit there. $270, so ended up, now I'm red on the day. So I'm just trying to be mindful of taking my time here and pacing myself. NAMM still looks like it's trying to do something over here. XTKG moving up again. We're getting this transition from weak bear to strong bull on XTKG. I'm going to take a position there. It looks like that seller at 65 is getting bought up. That started out at about 40,000 shares. I'm in there at 65. I took a position there on IVF. I'm going to close out my XTKG trade. Kind of don't love watching two at a time, but we'll see what IVF does here. We can get that squeeze up through 210. So I'm in at 207 right now. Just watching here. I took the exit there on XTKG. I'll just focus in on IVF here and see if this will give us a squeeze higher up through 210 up through 210. I added there at 208. There's 209. And a pullback. Let's see if we can get the break up through 209 here. There's 209. There's 209 again. Looks like that seller bought up. There's 214. Good. 216. 212. We'll see if this can keep going. Right back to 208. Okay, so I had to take my exit there. This may hold too, which it looks like it is. I was out at 198 there. We'll watch and see. Really was thinking we might break through that 218 and get up to 225. We didn't. So took an exit there. Now just trying to watch if this will hold around 2. So I added back there. We're holding 2. I really want to see this press higher. I know we're TTM weak bull, kind of trending down. MACD's closed, so being conscientious of that as well. And it just looks like it's not wanting to break, so I'm getting chopped out here a little bit. Kind of getting whipsawed back and forth. I'm taking the trade looking that it's going to get that break, and then we don't get the break. And right now we've got this support right here at 198. So we've got these bottoms. Still got a minute left on the current 5-minute chart. There we got our close below the 80 EMA. There's 206 again. You can see it's kind of trying to hold that $2 level. There's 209. Let's see if this breaks here. I added again there, so I'm now 207 average cost. I'm trying to break higher. It's just not wanting to break here. 203. I'm in at 207. So just trying to watch and see. Got a lot of topping tails up there through 207 now. Just trying to watch. We can hold that 198 again. MACD still closed. There's 198 on the bid. Okay, I'm out there, so oh, not that one didn't work out either there. Just can't get that break up through 210. So I'm larger red on the day right now. I've got to decide at this point, do I try anything else or call it a day? I'm going to go back over to XTKG where we're in mid compression squeeze here. So I've added there, looking for this breakup through 67. We're in the mid compression, flipping back, strong bull. So I'm in there at 66 cents. I want to watch and see if this is going to break up higher. And if we'll get the push up through 67. There's 67. A pullback there. Still watching this mid compression squeeze here on the TTM. And IVF right back up above 2. Kind of a tricky one up there around $2. I'm still watching it on the 5-minute chart as well. Second leading gainer right now. took a starter there, 203. We're holding the 21 EMA here at $1.98 still. So got a position there, 4,500 shares. About 3.5 minutes left on the current 5-minute candle. Okay, out there. And that one just didn't break up through 2, and I don't want to be holding it here if we break below VWAP. So out at that point, if this set back up against again above 2, could be interested in it. It's the second leading gainer right now, so there's definitely eyes on it. I'm just not able to hold that $2 level right here, so I'd rather take my exit and be out. A little tougher day so far, so we'll just wait and see coming into the market open if anything moves further. So I'm watching XTKG here, looking for this possible curl as we come into the market open. Got my starter there at 64 or 65. I'm gonna add there. Looking for this to curl up through 65 and then basically 67 is where I'm looking for this to curl up through. Trying to transition here on this weak bear to strong bull. Smaller histogram. Just watching this here to see what we might get. There's 66. A little bigger seller there at 66, 17,000 shares. There's a 33,000 share seller there at 67. That's a bigger position. And that seller, let's see if they get bought up here. As you can see, it's 67. We've got those different sellers popping up. Let's see if this can give us a curl. So we're still here at 67, just watching. They're 68, good. See if that seller gets bought up. Some sellers there at 68. There's 69. See if we can get this to curl up through high of day here. So I'm in at 64. There's 70. We just got our first bar of, there's some big sellers there. Well over 100,000 shares of sellers there at 70. Let's see if this gives us a push any higher. An order to take some off there at 69. Let's see if that'll curl back up. So I'm in at 64 right now. Average cost. Got our first couple bars of strong bull here on our histogram. It's like we're trying to hold. I'm gonna watch here as we come into the open. 5-minute chart looks good. We've just put in kind of the first 5-minute candle to make a new high after a little consolidation there sideways. So there's 70 again on the ask. Just watching here. Watching here at 69. Got about just over a minute until the market opens. I took a little off there at 69. We're not kind of breaking up through here just yet. There's 70. I just took 2,000 shares off. Average price is still 64. If you can break up through 70, that would look nice. We might get a little bit move higher into the market open. High day is right up there around 73. There's 70 again. And take a little more off there. About 30 seconds till the market opens. I've got some orders there at 70. Got another 1,000 shares out there at 69. There's the market open. I've got a couple orders there at 70 to fill. So those filled there at 70. There's 71. 72. See if we can push this higher. I'll take half off there at 71. I'll take the rest off there. So we got kind of a larger topping tail coming in. So I don't want to be holding that under pre-market high. There's a bigger pullback, so just watching here now, see if anything else hits the scanners. most of our, I mean, IVF's still kind of trying, but pretty much everything's pulled back well below its pre-market high. So XTKG had a sell-off there. I'm kind of watching IVF here, but our EMAs are kind of weird. You can see how most things have popped and just kind of faded. It's a really big push there, and then all the way down to 61 from 71. So glad to get out of that with a small green. Ended up 269 green on that one. I may try to recover the 21 EMA here. IVF is third leading gainer right now. It's been a little tricky around this $2 level. I'm going to take a starter there. I'm just going to watch and see if we get a continued move higher. I'm in at $1.98. I'm going to add there. There's 203. I really want to see this reverse up through that 210 level. 210 was what was giving us a hard time earlier. Added a little more there. My average cost right now, $2 a share. There's 205. Let's see if we can get a push higher still. So my average cost is 2. Just watching this here, IVF. On this, looking for it to hold 2. It is holding 2 right now. There's 207. Kind of pull back. So it pops up there, 207, then pulls back. There's 207 again. So I'm kind of assuming a stop loss just under $2. So my average cost right here is $2. We're trying to see if we can hold 2 and make this push up through 210. There's 206. I haven't added again here. I'm kind of waiting to see if we can get a break and kind of get some price extension. You know, we had those headwinds at 210. We're 209, so it's 209. There's 209 again. There's 210. Sellers there at 210. There's 214. Good little push there, and then right back. So we got that kind of little push higher and then right back down. So I'm going to exit there. Big topping tail. It's only got $60 on that. Not a big winner. This may still hold there where we're strong bull on the TTM. I'm going to look at maybe a possible entry down at the 21 at like 194. But I'm out right now because of that topping tail there. Just that's kind of what I'm talking about. We get up just slightly above 210 and then we get these pullbacks. There's not a continuation. So small winner there. It was about maybe $20. Oh, much bigger pullback there. So we'll wait and see if this holds the 21 EMA. I'm going to take a starter there at 194. That's right on the 21 EMA. We're in a mid-compression squeeze, so I'm going to watch this and see if we can get some short covering here. So I'm in at 194. I have this current candle's 202. So this is a decent entry here with us being strong bull, kind of right on the 21 EMA. My stop loss is like got to be 186. So I'm risking about 8 cents right here to see if we get anything, get a move higher. 5 minute chart looks pretty good on the volume profile. The 5 minute candle that just ended has really good buying volume. Just a little topping tail up there at 210 again. Okay, so I'm out there. That was $60, so pulled back below the low of that of my entry candle. So my entry candle, that low was 187, so I took my exit right there. I'm gonna keep watching this to see. A deeper pullback there. So I'm, like I mentioned, I was out at 187. It's back down to 182 here. Just waiting to see if there's anything else that sets up. Yeah, much bigger pullback there, all the way down to 173. Yeah, so a lot deeper pullback there. So I'm just gonna keep watching and see if anything else sets up.